Gentlemen, listen to me. If you want to be a great man, a strong man, a man of wisdom, then you must understand not just your own strengths, but the vulnerabilities of the people around you, especially the women in your life. You see, a woman's weaknesses aren't flaws. They aren't faults. They are the very things that make her who she is. Her emotions, her heart, her love, her fears, her doubts, her strengths disguised as struggles. And if you don't take the time to understand them, you will never truly know her. So let's talk about them. 10 weaknesses that every man should know. 1, she overthinks everything. A woman's mind is like an endless ocean, deep, powerful, constantly in motion. She thinks about everything, questions everything, and revisits conversations long after they've ended. What might have been just a passing comment to you is something she replays over and over, dissecting each word, each pause, each shift in your tone. She wonders if she said the right thing, if she should have responded differently, if you meant something more than what you actually said. And if there's even the slightest bit of uncertainty, it will stay in her mind like an echo she can't turn off. She overthinks because she cares. She overthinks because she feels, and the more she feels for you, the more her mind refuses to rest. If she loves you, if she trusts you, if she's opened herself up to you, then every little thing matters. If you take too long to respond, she will wonder why. If you suddenly change your tone, she will replay the conversation in her head 100 times, trying to figure out what went wrong. If she sees the slightest shift in your energy, she will question whether she did something to cause it. It's not that she doesn't trust you. It's that her mind doesn't know how to be still when it comes to the things that mean the most to her. And the worst part, she knows she's doing it. She knows she's reading into things too much. Knows she's creating scenarios in her head that might not even exist, but that doesn't make it any easier to stop. It's not something she does because she wants to. It's just the way she is wired. She needs reassurance, not because she is weak, but because her mind has been trained to always prepare for the worst. Maybe she's been let down before. Maybe she's been left wondering where she stood with someone who never gave her clear answers. Maybe she's had to piece together broken promises so many times that now she questions everything before it even has the chance to break. You might not notice the small things, but she does. The way you say goodnight differently than usual, the slight change in the way you text, the hesitation in your voice when you say you're fine, and even when she tries to tell herself it's nothing, a part of her will still wonder, because she has learned that sometimes the things that seem small at first are the ones that mean the most in the end. She's not looking for a man who has all the answers. She's not expecting you to solve every thought that runs through her mind. What she wants is clarity. She wants to know where she stands. She wants to know that when you say you care, you mean it. That when you say nothing is wrong, you're telling the truth. That when you're distant, it's not because she did something wrong, but because you're dealing with something, and you'll come back to her when you're ready. She doesn't need you to fix the way she thinks. She needs you to understand it. Because when a woman overthinks, it's not about insecurity, it's about investment. The things she doesn't care about, those are the things she doesn't waste her time overanalyzing. But you matter. You are important enough for her to think about, even when you're not around. You are important enough for her to worry about losing, even when there's no reason to worry. And the right man will see that not as a burden, but as proof of how deeply she feels. So what can you do? You can be honest, you can be clear, you can say what you mean and mean what you say. You can reassure her without making her feel like she's asking for too much. You can be patient when her mind races faster than her heart can keep up. You can remind her that she is safe with you, that she doesn't have to guess how you feel because you will always make it known. And most importantly, you can see her for who she truly is, a woman who loves so deeply that even her own thoughts can't keep up. A woman can carry the weight of the world on her shoulders and still smile as if nothing is wrong. She can sit in a room full of people, laughing and engaging, while a storm rages inside her heart. She can wake up every morning, handle her responsibilities, be there for everyone who needs her, and still go to bed with emotions she hasn't spoken about, feelings she hasn't shared, and pain she hasn't allowed anyone to see. She feels everything deeply, but she's learned to hide it well, not because she wants to, but because at some point in her life she had no other choice. Maybe she has been told before that she was too emotional. Maybe she has been dismissed when she tried to express her feelings. Maybe she has been made to feel like her emotions were a weakness rather than a part of her strength. So now she holds it in. She keeps her deepest thoughts locked inside, choosing silence over vulnerability, choosing to bear the weight of her feelings rather than risk being judged for them. She knows how to smile when she's hurting, how to say, "I'm fine," when she's anything but, how to act like everything is under control, even when she feels like she's breaking. It's not that she doesn't want to share what's inside her heart. It's that the world has taught her that not everyone deserves to hear it. She can be the strongest person in the room, the one who holds everyone together, the one people rely on when they're falling apart. And yet, when she needs someone to lean on, she hesitates. Not because she doesn't want support, but because she doesn't know if she'll receive it the way she needs it. She's been the listener, the healer, the protector for so long that she doesn't know what it feels like to be the one who is comforted. And even when she's hurting, she still finds a way to make sure no one else carries the burden of her pain. She will wipe away her own tears before anyone else can see them. She will find the right words to say even when her own heart feels empty. She will put herself second to make sure everyone around her is okay, because that's what she does. That's who she is. She feels deeply, more than she will ever admit. A simple word can stay with her for years. A single act of kindness can restore her faith. A moment of neglect can linger in her mind longer than she wants it to. She remembers the little things that others forget. She notices the shifts in energy, the changes in tone, the way someone looks at her differently than they used to. She may never bring it up, but she knows. She always knows. Her heart absorbs everything, the good and the bad, the love and the loss, the words spoken and the ones left unsaid. And when something hurts her, she doesn't always show it. She keeps it locked inside, not because she wants to suffer in silence, but because she doesn't want to be seen as fragile. She doesn't want to be told she's overreacting. She doesn't want to hear that she's too sensitive, too emotional, too much. But even in her silence, she is feeling everything. Even when she says she's fine, she is carrying emotions that run deeper than most will ever understand. And the right person, the one who truly sees her, will recognize this. They will understand that her strength is not in how much she hides, but in how much she continues to give despite everything she carries. They will see beyond her smile, beyond the mask she wears for the world, and know that inside her is a heart that feels with an intensity that words cannot describe. They will know that she doesn't need fixing. She just needs someone who won't make her feel like she has to hide. A woman gives. She gives her time, her energy, her love, her patience. She gives in ways that often go unnoticed, in ways that seem small to others but take so much out of her. She does it without being asked, without expecting anything in return, because that's who she is. She was raised to care, raised to nurture, raised to hold things together even when no one sees the effort it takes. But deep down, beneath the strength she wears so well, there is a quiet fear that lingers, one she may never speak out loud. She fears being unappreciated. She is the type to check on you even when she's the one who needs to be checked on. The type to go out of her way to make sure you're okay, to remember the things you mention in passing, to support you in ways you don't even realize. She will make sure you eat, make sure you rest, make sure you know your love, and she won't complain. She won't ask for anything in return, not because she doesn't want it, but because she doesn't want to feel like a burden. She wants to believe that the love she gives will be recognized without her having to beg for it. But nothing makes her withdraw faster than feeling like she is being taken for granted. She doesn't need grand gestures, doesn't need over-the-top displays of affection. What she needs is acknowledgement. She needs to know that what she does matters, that the little things she gives are seen, that the way she loves is not being treated as an expectation, but as a gift. Because when a woman loves, she doesn't do it halfway. She pours herself into it. She invests her heart in it. And when she feels unappreciated, it makes her question everything. She will never tell you outright that she's feeling unappreciated. She won't sit you down and list all the ways she's been giving while feeling like she's receiving nothing in return. She won't demand attention, won't beg for gratitude, won't force you to see her worth. But she will start to pull back. She will stop doing the little things, not out of spite, but out of exhaustion. Because when she gives and gives and it starts to feel like no one notices, she wonders why she even bothers. She wonders if she's wasting her energy on people who don't see her the way she sees them. She wonders if maybe she's been too available, too understanding, too willing to put herself last. And when she starts to feel like she's the only one making an effort, something inside her shifts. She stops reaching out first, stops checking in, stops putting herself in situations where she feels unseen. Not because she doesn't care anymore, but because she's tired of feeling like she's the only one who does. She wants to feel valued. She wants to feel like the love she gives is reciprocated. She wants to know that she is not just an option, not just a convenience, but someone who is truly, deeply appreciated for who she is and all that she does. But she doesn't ask for much, just a thank you, just a moment of recognition, just the feeling that she matters. And the right person, the one who truly values her, will never let her go without knowing that she is appreciated. Because when a woman feels seen, when she feels like her love is recognized and cherished, there is nothing she won't do for you. But when she feels like she is just there, just existing in someone's life without being valued, she will leave. Not with anger, not with bitterness, but with the quiet understanding that she deserves more. A woman wants strength. She wants a man who stands firm in who he is, who carries himself with confidence, who knows how to lead without making her feel small. She wants someone she can rely on, someone who doesn't crumble under pressure, someone who makes her feel safe even when life is unpredictable. She doesn't want to have to question if you can handle what comes your way. She doesn't want to wonder if you'll fold when things get tough. She wants to feel secure in your presence, to know that when the storms come, you won't run. But strength is not the same as control. She is not looking for a man who dictates her every move, who tries to shape her into something she's not, who confuses leadership with dominance. She doesn't want to feel like she has to shrink to fit into someone else's idea of who she should be. She doesn't want to be told what to do, how to think, how to feel. She has spent too long building herself into the woman she is to let someone come along and take that away from her. She is strong in her own way, and she needs a man who understands that his strength should never come at the cost of hers. She wants a man who can stand on his own 2 feet, who doesn't need to control her to feel powerful, who doesn't mistake her independence for a threat. She admires strength, but not the kind that seeks to overpower. She respects confidence. She wants a man who can make decisions, who can take charge when necessary, but who also values her input, who listens to her, who sees her as an equal, not as someone to be managed. She is not looking for someone to rule over her. She is looking for someone to stand beside her. She has no problem following the lead of a man who knows where he's going, who moves with purpose, who leads not with force but with wisdom. But the moment she feels like her voice doesn't matter, like her opinions are dismissed, like she is being treated as less than, she will start to pull away. Not because she wants to be in control, but because she refuses to be controlled. She refuses to lose herself just to keep someone else comfortable. She refuses to dim her light just to make someone else feel brighter. She has fought too hard to become who she is, and she won't let anyone take that from her. She admires strength in a man, but real strength, the kind that is steady, the kind that is unshaken, the kind that doesn't need to prove itself by belittling others. She wants a man who can handle her emotions without dismissing them, who can be her rock without making her feel like she's weak for needing him. She wants someone who can protect her, not because he thinks she is fragile, but because he understands that even the strongest people need someone to lean on. She wants a partner, not a dictator, a teammate, not a boss. a man who respects her mind, her dreams, her ambition, a man who sees her as powerful in her own right. Because when she finds that kind of man, she will give him everything. She will stand by his side through anything. She will trust him, lean on him, support him in ways he never even realized he needed. She will follow his lead, not because she has to, but because she chooses to. Because real strength is not about control. It is about presence. It is about security. It is about making her feel like she can be everything she is without fear, without hesitation, without losing herself in the process. A woman remembers things you wouldn't even think mattered. The smallest details, the quietest moments, the words you said in passing without thinking twice. She holds on to them, not because she's overly sentimental, not because she's clinging to the past, but because those little things mean something to her. They are proof of love, proof of effort, proof that someone cared enough to leave a mark on her heart. She gets attached to the way you looked at her that one night when neither of you were saying much, but she felt everything. She remembers the way you reached for her hand when you thought no one was watching, the way you covered her with a blanket when she fell asleep, the way you made her laugh when she was having a bad day. It's not about grand gestures for her. It's about the everyday moments that build something real. She keeps the notes you left, the texts that made her smile, the small gifts that held meaning, not because she needs material things, but because they remind her of how she felt in that moment. She remembers the song that was playing the first time you told her how you felt. She remembers the way you said her name when you were proud of her. She remembers the times you showed up when you didn't have to, when you chose her without hesitation. And just like she gets attached to the good, she also remembers the bad. She remembers the words that cut deep, the times she felt like she was reaching for you and you weren't reaching back. She remembers when you forgot things that mattered to her, when you made her feel like she was asking for too much just because she wanted to be seen. She doesn't hold grudges, but she feels things deeply. When she loves fully, and when she gets hurt, it stays with her. She may not tell you how much these little things mean to her, but she notices everything. She notices when you stop saying good morning, when your tone changes, when you stop remembering the things you used to. She notices when the effort fades, when the conversations grow shorter, when the warmth that was once there starts to feel distant. She won't always call it out, won't always ask why, but she will feel it. She wants to feel like the little things she holds on to matter to you too. She wants to know that you remember the things she told you about her childhood, the way she likes her coffee, the things that make her feel safe. She wants to know that when she talks, you're really listening, that when she shares pieces of herself, you're not just hearing her words, but understanding what they mean. Because when a woman feels like the things that matter to her don't matter to you, something in her shifts. She starts to question if she's pouring too much into something that isn't being poured into her. She starts to wonder if she's just another person in your life while you are everything in her. She starts to pull back, not because she doesn't care, but because she's tired of feeling like she cares alone. But when she feels like the small things matter to you too, when she feels like she is being seen, heard, and appreciated, there is nothing she won't do. She will give her heart without fear, will love you with a kind of devotion that is rare. She will hold on to you the way she holds on to everything that means something to her. Because for her, love is in the details, and when she feels like she's holding on to something real, she will never let go. A woman can be strong, confident, and capable, but that doesn't mean she doesn't wrestle with doubt. She can walk into a room with her head high, speak with conviction, and carry herself with grace, yet deep inside, there are moments when she questions herself. Moments when she wonders if she is enough. Moments when she fights against the voice in her head that tells her she is falling short. She battles with self-doubt in ways she doesn't always show, in ways she keeps hidden behind a smile, behind laughter, behind the mask of being okay. She questions whether she is doing enough, whether she is saying the right things, whether she is making the right choices. She wonders if she is beautiful enough, smart enough. She wonders if the people she loves truly see her, if they value her the way she values them. Even when she knows her worth, even when she knows she brings something special to the table, there are still times when the uncertainty creeps in, when she second guesses herself, when she feels like she is chasing a standard she may never reach. She overthinks the little things, replays conversations in her mind, analyzes the way people respond to her, searching for signs that she is good enough. She wants to be sure she is doing things right, that she is not a burden, that she is not too much or too little. And sometimes that self-doubt makes her hesitate when she should move forward. It makes her hold back when she should speak up. It makes her shrink herself when she should be standing tall. She doesn't want to doubt herself, but sometimes the world has made her feel like she has to. She has been compared, judged, overlooked, made to feel like she has to prove herself over and over again. She has been told she is too emotional, too sensitive, too complicated. She has been made to feel like she has to meet impossible expectations just to be considered enough. And even though she pushes forward, even though she works hard to believe in herself, there are still days when the doubt whispers a little louder than the confidence. What she needs is not someone to tell her she shouldn't feel that way, not someone to brush off her fears or make her feel silly for questioning herself. She doesn't need someone to fix her because she is not broken. What she needs is reassurance. She needs to know that when she questions herself, there is someone beside her reminding her of who she is. She needs someone who sees past the doubt and recognizes the strength underneath. Someone who reminds her of her power, not by telling her, but by treating her like she is already everything she needs to be. She needs to feel valued, not just in words, but in actions. She needs to feel chosen, not just once, but every day. She needs to know that she doesn't have to be perfect to be loved, that she doesn't have to have it all figured out to be worthy, that even in the moments when she is unsure, she is still enough. Because when she feels secure, when she feels seen and appreciated, that self-doubt starts to lose its grip. She starts to believe in herself the way others believe in her. She starts to walk with a little more certainty, speak with a little more confidence, love herself the way she deserves. And when a woman no longer has to fight her battles alone, when she knows she has someone in her corner who believes in her even when she struggles to believe in herself, she becomes unstoppable. She rises above the doubt, above the fear, above the voices that once held her back. She steps fully into who she is meant to be, and there is nothing more powerful than that. A woman will test you, not because she wants to play games, not because she wants to manipulate, but because she needs to know if what she feels is real. She needs to know if the words you say are backed by action. She needs to know if your presence is steady, if your promises hold weight, if your intentions are true. She will test you in ways you may not even recognize, in ways that aren't always spoken out loud. She won't sit you down and ask you to prove yourself. Life will do that for her. Time will do that for her, and she will watch. She will test you with silence. She will stop reaching out first just to see if you notice, just to see if you care enough to take the lead. She will stop reminding you of what she needs just to see if you were really listening all along. She will pull back ever so slightly to see if you feel the shift, if you recognize when something is different, if you care enough to ask why. She will test you with patience. She won't always ask for what she deserves. She will wait and see if you give it to her on your own. She will wait to see if you value her presence, if you show her through your actions that she is important to you. She will test to see if you take her for granted, if you assume she will always be there, if you think she will always be the one to try, to fix, to chase. She will test you in the moments when she is vulnerable, when she lets her guard down, when she opens up in a way she doesn't do for everyone. She will pay attention to how you respond. If you listen, if you handle her feelings with care, if you make her feel safe. She needs to know that when she shows you the parts of her that aren't perfect, you won't run. That when she is struggling, you won't turn away. That when she is tired, she won't have to carry everything alone. She will test you in your lowest moments, not to see you fail, but to see if you fight, to see if you still show up when things aren't easy, to see if you still choose her when life gets complicated. Anyone can stand beside you when things are smooth, but when things get rough, when patience runs thin, when tempers rise, those are the moments that tell her everything she needs to know. She will test you to see if you are consistent, not just for a week, not just when you're trying to impress her, not just when you feel like it. She will watch to see if your effort fades over time, if your attention drifts, if your promises start to lose their meaning. She will notice if you only show up when it's convenient, if you only try when it benefits you, if you only love her when it's easy. She will test you in ways you don't even realize, and not because she wants to push you away, but because she wants to be sure that you are real, sure that you are not just another temporary presence in her life, sure that she is not investing her heart into something that will crumble the moment she stops holding it together. She doesn't expect perfection. She doesn't expect you to never make mistakes, but she does expect truth. She expects effort. She expects presence. And when she sees that you are real, that you don't waver, that you are steady even when she is unsure, she will trust you in a way she doesn't trust easily. She will love you in a way that is deep, unshaken, undeniable, because once she knows, she doesn't have to test you anymore. Once she knows she is safe with you, she will give you a kind of love that is rare, a love that lasts. A woman hears the words you say, but she feels love through what you do. She listens when you tell her she's beautiful, when you tell her she matters, when you tell her you'll always be there. But words alone are not enough. Words are easy. Words can be said in a moment, but actions are what carry those words into something real. A woman remembers how you show up for her, how you treat her, how you prove through consistency that she is more than just a passing thought. She watches how you handle the small things. She notices when you remember the details, when you take the time to know what makes her smile, what makes her feel safe, what makes her feel valued. She doesn't need grand gestures. She doesn't need expensive gifts or over-the-top declarations. She needs to feel like she is a priority, not just something you tend to when it's convenient. She needs to feel like your actions match the promises you make. She pays attention to how you treat her when no one is watching. It's easy to say the right things when the world is listening. It's easy to be charming, to be sweet, to say all the things she wants to hear. But love is not just in what you say. It's in how you hold her hand when she's anxious, how you check in on her when she's had a long day, how you make her feel safe without her having to ask for it. It's in the way you stand beside her, not just in the good times, but when she feels weak, when she feels unsure, when she feels like the world is too much. She notices if you show up only when it benefits you or if you truly care about her happiness. She notices if you listen just to respond or if you listen to understand. She notices if you pay attention to what she needs or if you assume she will always take care of herself. A woman doesn't need someone to solve all her problems. She needs someone who doesn't walk away when they arise. She doesn't need someone who always has the perfect words. She needs someone who stands beside her, even when there are no words at all. She watches how you handle conflict. She sees if you choose patience or if you choose to walk away. She sees if you fight for the relationship or if you let anger push you apart. She sees if you are willing to work through things, if you take responsibility, if you care enough to grow with her instead of expecting her to always adjust to you. Love isn't just about being there when things are easy. It's about standing firm when things are hard, about proving that leaving isn't an option when commitment is real. She needs reassurance, but not just in the form of words. She needs consistency, reliability, presence. She needs to know that love isn't just something you feel in moments of passion, but something you choose every day, even when it's not exciting, even when life gets busy, even when time moves fast. She needs to know that she doesn't have to beg for effort, that she doesn't have to remind you to care, that she doesn't have to feel like she is giving more than she receives. She doesn't want perfect. She wants someone who never makes mistakes. She wants real. She wants effort. She wants to feel secure in your love, not because you say it's there, but because every day, in the small ways, in the big ways, in the quiet moments, in the loud ones, she can feel it. Because when a woman truly feels loved through action, she gives back a love that is deeper than words could ever express. A woman wants to feel safe in your presence, to know that she is with someone who will protect her, not control her. She doesn't want to feel like she has to fight every battle alone. She doesn't want to question whether she can rely on you when the world feels heavy. She wants to stand beside a man who understands that protection is not about possession, that strength is not about dominance, that love is not about control. She doesn't need to be owned. She doesn't need to be told what to do, where to go, how to think. She doesn't need someone who tries to shape her into something she is not. She needs to be honored, to be respected, to be trusted. She wants to be with someone who recognizes her strength but still makes space for her softness, someone who understands that she is capable of standing on her own but chooses to stand with her anyway. She watches how you treat her independence. She listens to the way you speak when she makes decisions for herself. She notices if you celebrate her growth or if you try to hold her back. She wants to be protected, but not in a way that makes her feel small. She wants to know that you have her back, not that you are trying to hold her down. A woman doesn't want to be controlled. She wants to be cherished. She doesn't want to feel like she has to ask for permission to be who she is. She wants to feel like she is loved for exactly that. She needs to feel like she can trust you with her heart, with her mind, with her dreams. She needs to know that being with you does not mean sacrificing herself. She needs to know that you will support her, not stifle her. That you will encourage her, not limit her. That when she succeeds, you will cheer her on, not feel threatened by her light. A woman who feels protected in love flourishes. She grows into the best version of herself. She steps boldly into the world, knowing that no matter what happens, she has someone beside her who believes in her, who defends her, who never makes her feel like she has to shrink to be loved. She watches how you handle her emotions. If she comes to you with her fears, do you dismiss them? If she expresses her concerns, do you make her feel like she's overreacting? If she trusts you with her vulnerabilities, do you hold them with care or do you use them against her? A woman doesn't just want a man who can fight battles for her. She wants a man who understands that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is simply be there, to listen, to stand firm, to make her feel like she is not carrying everything alone. She doesn't need you to shield her from the world, but she does need to feel safe with you. She needs to know that she can be herself, that she can speak her mind, that she can be soft without being taken advantage of. She needs to know that protection does not mean control, that strength does not mean restriction, that love does not mean ownership. She will not stay where she feels caged. She will not stay where she feels like she has to ask for permission to exist fully. She will not stay where her independence is seen as a threat instead of a gift. She will not stay where she feels like she is being held instead of uplifted. A woman wants to be with a man who sees her as an equal, who respects her freedom, who values her mind as much as he values her presence. She will stay where she feels honored, where she feels safe, where she feels protected without being possessed. She will stay where she feels like love is a choice, not a contract, where she feels like she is cherished, not controlled. When a woman finds that kind of love, she gives back something rare, something powerful, something that cannot be forced, only earned. A woman will reflect back to you exactly what she receives. She may start off giving you her light, her warmth, her laughter, but over time she will begin to mirror the energy you bring into her life. If you show up with love, with patience, with effort, she will pour all of that back into you. If you show up distant, careless, indifferent, she will slowly become the same. It is not a conscious choice. It is simply human nature. You cannot expect a woman to shine when you keep her in the shadows. You cannot expect her to give endlessly when she is running on empty. She mirrors not only your actions, but also your words, your tone, your consistency. If you are attentive, she will open herself to you fully. If you are distracted, she will begin to pull away. If you make her feel wanted, she will make you feel like the most important man in the world. If you make her feel like an afterthought, she will start treating you the same way. Love is not one-sided. Affection is not something to be taken for granted. She will match what she receives, whether you realize it or not. She notices the way you treat her even in the smallest moments. If you make an effort to communicate, she will respond with warmth. If you brush her off, she will slowly stop trying. If you put in the effort to make her feel appreciated, she will go above and beyond to show you love. If you make her feel like she is always the one trying, she will begin to lose interest. A woman does not stop caring all at once. It happens gradually. It happens when she realizes she is pouring into someone who does not pour back into her. She mirrors your respect. If you speak to her with kindness, she will return that energy. If you belittle her, if you talk down to her, if you make her feel small, she will either start reflecting that same energy or she will walk away. A woman can only tolerate so much before she starts to see the pattern. She will give grace, she will give second chances, but she will not continue to give if she feels that she is being taken for granted. She mirrors your consistency. If you show up, if you do what you say you will do, if you make her feel like she can rely on you, she will return that reliability tenfold. But if she feels like she cannot trust your words, if she feels like you are only there when it is convenient for you, she will begin to match that energy. She will stop expecting more. She will stop believing in promises that never come true. A woman does not want to beg for effort. She does not want to feel like she has to ask for the basics of love, attention, and respect. She wants to know that the man she chooses to give her heart to will treat it with care. She mirrors your presence. If you make time for her, if you prioritize her, she will feel secure in your love. If you always make excuses, if you are too busy, if she feels like an option rather than a priority, she will begin to pull back. She will not chase a man who makes her feel like she is not worth the effort. She will not beg for attention that should be given freely. A woman may love deeply, but she also understands when it is time to stop trying. She mirrors the way you make her feel. If you make her feel beautiful, she will glow in your presence. If you make her feel like she is not enough, she will start to believe it. If you make her feel safe, she will be the most open, the most giving, the most loving version of herself. If you make her feel uncertain, if you make her question her worth, if you make her feel like she has to prove herself to be loved, she will start to withdraw. She will start to guard her heart. She will start to change. A woman is not complicated. She is simply responsive. She reacts to the energy that is given to her. She loves deeply when she feels love. She gives freely when she feels secure. She becomes distant when she feels unappreciated. She stops trying when she realizes she is the only one putting in the effort. The way she loves you is a reflection of the way you love her. Give her warmth and she will radiate it back to you. Give her distance and she will learn to live without you. Understanding a woman isn't about trying to fix her. It's about seeing her, hearing her, knowing her. In other words, God loves you harder than you would allow sunscreen. It's about standing beside her, not above her. And remember this, a real man doesn't see a woman's weaknesses as a burden. He sees them as a responsibility. Now go out there and be the kind of man who doesn't just demand respect, but earns it. The kind of man who understands that true strength is not in overpowering others, but in lifting them up. Because that's what real men do.